Play Radio.
I hope y'all ready Friday night, man, for this Ebony Gala. I hope you got your suits right. Ladies, I hope your gowns are right, your shoes is right, your hair is right, your nails is done. It's going to be major, man. Shout out to DJ Nexus. We're going to turn up in that Caribbean room for sure. So, ladies, be ready to sweat your hair out and all of that. Guys, take your neckties off, grind up on something, wind up on something. It's going to be major. Candace, don't act like that, because we know we're going to see the real Jamaican come up out of you.
I'm not grinding on nobody.
Oh, okay. All right. We'll see.
We gonna have that GoPro, trust me.
Exactly. We will
get some
see.
uncut scenes, Candace. Put you on blast.
Yeah,
we will
y'all
see.
ain't catching me acting up.
We will see. So make sure you guys come out to the Ebony Gala Friday night. It's an event that you do not want to miss. But without further ado, we have our guest in the building. We have Yo Soy's very own, my man Joseph James in the building.
What up?
You looking all broke, you looking to smoke, I'm looking to drink, my face in the sink. Yeah. Henny on the weekend, Henny all night. Drinking all day, man, drinking all night. Rolling around and I'm chilling with the squad. Pour another round.
What's good? Hey, yo, just real quick. Tell me how great it is to have a DJ, a part of your team, who plays your own personal drops during your interview.
Right, exactly. I didn't even know that one was coming.
Major key.
Family in the
Major
building.
key.
Come on, I can't do it.
Major key. But yo, it's good to have you on the show,
thank you.
man. We've been listening to the music. The music is great. We love the music. So man, go ahead, man. Tell us who Joseph James is, man.
Yeah, I mean, Joseph James. Some people call me Joey for short. Some people would say, how did you get the name Joseph James, right?
Right.
Because it's hard picking a name, right?
Right.
I had plenty of names, but Joseph James is pretty much the American version of my real name, Jose Santiago.
Okay.
So I just flipped it.
Right.
My mom hates that name because
Right.
she's like, Hispanic ladies. They're like, I didn't name you that. Your name is Jose Santiago.
Right.
So, but I told her Jose Santiago doesn't ring off good. Joseph
Right.
James is easy. you know?
Right.
That's how I got the name.
So tell us some of your names before Joseph James.
Dang.
Oh, here we go.
I'm trying to remember. I'm trying to remember.
Paying attention to this one.
I try to remember. One time I used to be called like Metro.
Okay.
It was like a tag because I do art. So like that was
Okay.
like my graffiti tag. I don't think I had like a real rapper's name yet.
Okay.
So but I went through names, I guess. It's hard picking names.
Young Metro.
You know what I mean?
Young Metro. I like that. So tell us, man, starting off from your young Metro days, you know what I'm saying? You're now becoming an actual, musician and an actual artist, man. What was your background like coming into that whole stage as far as you actually becoming an artist?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I was always around music. My grandparents used to play in like a Hispanic band in New York because I'm originally from New York.
Okay.
But my mom wanted to move out here to Boston for a better life. New York was crazy back then.
Right.
So in general, and then my pops was a hip hop artist. He kind of started that reggaeton movement. People don't know that.
Nice.
But like he just kind of retired, just gave it up. But in general, I was always surrounded by music. Have I ever? I mean, I wasn't rapping when I was young. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
I was always into art, so I used to draw first.
Okay.
You know what I mean? So then eventually, I used to freestyle, but then I started getting older and started wanting to, keep practicing, keep doing it. And then eventually I was like, all right, I want to do this full time.
So at what age did you start making music?
Right after high school.
Okay.
So I was like 18.
What was that defining moment that said, listen, I'm going to go full throttle with this thing, 10 toes down, and I'm actually going to pursue a career as an artist?
Well, me and my brother recorded a song in my mom's basement. It was called Highway of Love, right? Because, like, how I got into music was my first love, like, crushed my heart, right? So I didn't know, like, I was trying to draw one day, and I was like, dang. I was like, I'm not in the mood. So, like, how can I express myself?
Right.
So I just started writing. So, like, that's how I got into, like, really writing.
Okay.
It was like, I always tell people it was like my diary, you know what I mean?
Right.
It might sound a little cheesy, but I was like, it really helped me, like, release a lot,
Yeah.
So, like, that's how I really got into music. And Highway of Love, like, was, like, it came out dope for, like, two young kids in the basement using GarageBand, you know what I mean? And I was like, and I showed it to people, and people was like, oh, that's pretty dope.
So your album covers are very, very artsy. Like, they look like painted portraits of you as opposed to like just regular photographs. Does one inspire the other? Like, does your music inspire your art and vice versa?
Yeah, so in general, I'm always around like a lot of artists. When I say artists, I mean like musicians, graphic designer, painters, and like my whole family's artists. So in general, yeah, I get inspired by a lot of things. And like I try to create my album covers off of like what I'm talking about. So like the album Just Soy stands for Joseph James and Your Soy, my clothing line, which I put together as one since I was like branding it. And then I got like the cover of that album is like based on like the Taínos, you know, Puerto Ricans are Taínos. So like
Taínos.
Oh, let's talk about that in Power right now.
Yeah, so like
preach, Joey. Preach, damn
so
it.
I really think about everything that I do, you know what I mean? It's not just like, oh, I like that color. You get what I'm saying?
Right.
There's always something deep behind what I do.
So are you in charge of your own artwork for your album?
Yeah, so I do my own artwork.
Nice.
I have a team too that helps me out sometimes when I can't do it. I do a lot of artist stuff in the city, which people probably don't know that. But like I'm more like behind the background scene. So like now I'm like coming forward. You know what I'm saying? So like everybody knows who I am that's doing music or whatever it is. I'm just more behind the scene. But like now I'm like, all right, it's my time to step forward now. You know what I'm saying? Like I can give you a list of artists and you'd be like, oh snap, I saw that cover. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Or I saw that T-shirt design.
Well, I'm curious now. Who are some of the artists that you've done things for?
Hey, go ahead.
I did a lot of Latrell James work.
Nice.
Carter Mars. 2016, I was working with Dutch Rebel on like a clothing collection. She had a couple of our clothing and some newspapers and things like that. Yeah, I'm trying to think who else, but yeah, I can go on. But yeah.
Now, Joey's Home. This is your EP. Now, which number project is this for you?
So the album's just Soy.
Oh,
Joey's
Joe
Home
Soy.
is like my slogan pretty much. Yeah.
Okay.
But this is like so. This album, this EP, just like kind of like certified me as like, all right, he's an artist. You get what I'm saying?
Okay.
But like before that, I probably had like 5 projects before that.
Okay. And what was your mentality going into creating this one? Because from listening to some of the songs, it has a certain vibe, it has a certain feel to it. So what was your mentality going into this one, and what is it that you wanted to express by putting this EP out?
Yeah. So like. Before this EP, I was just trying to find myself as an artist. You know, you got to find yourself first. So, like, I used to do a lot of open mics, did a lot of shows, tested music out, you know, put out good music, bad music. So, like, it got me to this point where, like, I knew what my sound was. I knew how to, like, entertain the crowd because, you know, whether you got cheered or booed, you know, you learn all that. So, in general, like, I just came with a good approach where, like, all right, I'm going to give it my all on this project, you know? So, like, when you hear it, you're like, oh, this is dope. When you see me perform it, you're like, this is dope. And, like, all the music's always original. I got, like, my brother produces some of my tracks. I got other people that produce it. So, like, I like to just make original music.
So it doesn't seem, I tried to put you in a category of music and I couldn't because you have the Hennessy song where you're talking about drinking Henny all night, Henny all weekend. Then you have Love Notes, which is obviously a love song. So how would you describe your music to someone who's never heard it before?
I would say like when you hear my music, it's just like, and it's funny that you said Love Notes because Love Notes is like old.
Really?
But
well, it was out there for me.
But no, I leave it there. I leave it there because I want people to see like my progress of like where I came from to now. Get what I'm saying? And in general, I would say back then I used to just make music. You know, like all right, try to make a hit. Supposedly, you know, but like hits aren't made like you don't the hit. If you think it's a hit, it might not be a hit to somebody else.
Right.
So like in general, I really had to find myself as an artist and think about the music. Like my new album, Just Soy, like it really shows like my work. It shows how I've grown as an artist. So like in general, I took a step back. I took like a year off probably from making music just to find myself as an artist. Like I used to just go to shows and watch.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
A lot
Like
of
a funny story, I went to the J. Cole concert, Forest Hills, last year I think. And I was in the audience and I was just watching. This girl was like turned. she hit me in the shoulder and was like, why you not like turn? But I was like studying J. Cole
Right.
and all the other artists.
Right.
But that's the difference between me and just like, a
regular
fan.
fan,
Yeah.
right.
So she didn't get that. She was really upset with me, but I was just like, you messing up my zone.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So like I like to learn, you know what I mean?
Right. No, that's dope. That's dope. I really like that, man. So, tell me about the Yo Soy team, because from my understanding, and we got Yo Soy's very own DJ,
Right,
DJ
right.
Nexus in the
Been
building.
here.
So tell me more about the Yo Soy team.
Yeah, so Yo Soy is me, my brother Carlos, my brother Wes, DJ Nexus, and YN Prop.
And for all you non-Spanish speaking people out there,
Herb, don't act like you
that
speak
means-
Spanish every
that means
day.
I am.
There you go.
Okay.
Yo,
Okay.
don't
all
let
right.
this man make
just,
y'all
just
think
to be
you speak
clear,
Spanish
just to
every
be
day.
clear for all the non-speaking Spanish folks in the building.
Yeah, you.
I can tell you why we chose that name too.
Oh, yeah,
Is
yeah.
it the power of I am?
Yeah, so pretty much like people be like, oh, Yo Soy is like a Spanish thing, you know what I'm saying? I can't wear that. But I tell people all the time, like, not a lot of Hispanics wear my clothing. I'm like, I got a lot of other friends that wear it, you know what I mean? So in general, the I am means like whoever you are is who you are, you get what I'm saying?
Right.
So like it just means a lot. So
Right.
every day you're who you are, you know?
That's the
But
power of I am.
the team is who I said my two brothers, DJ Nexus, my boy YN Prop, and then my mom helps too. We sew stuff. Everything is like original artwork, cut and sew. So we do everything in house. We have a print shop, all that.
Now talk about that, because you actually mentioned that your mom helped.
Yeah.
And usually, when you think about artists going to their mom and telling their mom, I'm going to be a rapper. You know what I'm saying? They usually say, don't waste your time with that. Go
Right,
to
right,
college,
right.
get a real job.
Right.
So what was that like when you told your mom, I'm going to be an artist, and how did she really receive it?
Especially island parents.
Oh
too.
yeah, you know that. Well, my mom's very supportive. She always told me, whatever you want to do it. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, if you had a job right now and you making good money but you don't love it, she's like, quit it. Do something that you really love. Like people don't know that I'm a teacher. I teach in schools. So like right now I teach 7th grade at a music school in Dorchester. So I always give back to the community too that way. But in general, like my mom plays a big role. So like
Nice.
she's very supportive, everything that I do.
And you teach music, you said?
Yeah, I teach music, yep.
So talk about your tribe tour.
Oh yeah, the tribe tour.
All right.
Wait a minute.
Let's go.
I almost forgot about that.
All right, so let's talk about it. First, I want to know, as an artist, how do you know that you're ready to go on tour?
And as a teacher, you get the summers off, so I was like, perfect time for me to do a tour.
Nice.
So in general, I got with my boy YN Prop, DJ Nexus, Smooth Gang, and my boy
Shout out to
Ox.
Smooth Gang.
Yeah. So in general, we just came together, put our money together, and we had a tour. You know what I mean? And we went everywhere: New York, Boston, all over New England. So like we traveled, and it was a dope experience. And you don't see artists in our city do that. Get what I'm saying? Because everybody's trying to reach the top. But I'm like, why not just do your own tour? You know what I mean?
Right, and how was the music received when you were visiting these different cities?
It was dope. Like one thing is, like I've been to Minnesota, and like they loved my music out there. And like when you get that feedback, you're like, dang, that's a great experience, So that keeps you want to keep going, you know what I mean? And that was the first time I ever been to Minnesota and perform. Everybody's like, whoa, that was good music. So like in general, it was a good experience, and just it keeps you wanting to do more.
Joe, you gotta tell them to uncut. Hold on,
What?
I'm gonna intercept for 1 second. Let me tell you something about this tour, guys. We had one of our tour dates was actually in New York. We did 2 shows in one day, right? The tour got so live, we actually ended up outside of our location performing in front of at least 100 people. Downtown Brooklyn, craziness. I'm talking about a wireless mic, filming a video at the same time.
Yeah.
We
Wow.
took over the streets.
So were there other artists on tour, or was
Oh,
it
yeah.
just you?
Yeah, no. There was other other
Okay.
artists. Yeah, there was other
Nice.
artists. We had the whole Smooth Gang. That's another group. We had Ox and his crew. So like we
Oh,
had
okay,
couple,
okay,
we had
yeah.
Maverick from J9.5 who's on tour with us. So
Nice.
That's dope.
How did you get that? Because it seems like you're very business minded. You're putting on your own tours. You're doing your own merch.
Yeah.
Where does that mentality come from?
For me, I always wanted to be that person. When I look back, I don't look back like, man, what if I did that? So everything that I do it so I can look back and be like, at least I tried that. You know what I mean? Like if this rapping thing doesn't go where, like it's going where I want to go, but if it doesn't go where I want to go, right, I'm gonna be like, at least I tried.
Right.
And like people think that you want to be famous, you know what I mean? that's where it's at, and that means you made it. But I'm like, there's a whole bunch of artists that's not known and they're living comfortably, you know what I mean?
Absolutely.
And doing what they love.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
So, who are some of your musical inspirations, or who inspires the way you make music? Because there were a couple songs that I heard, and I know the tour was called the Tribe Tour.
Yeah,
I don't know
yeah.
if that had anything to do with it, but I felt like I heard like a common type of vibe, you know, like the real poetic type of thing.
Yeah, so I mean, I always wrote poetry, so like that plays a big part in my music. The Tribe Tour the title comes because like we did it with different groups, and like of course my Yesoi brand. So I was like, all right, we all have our own tribe, so the Tribe Tour, you know.
Okay.
And yeah, so.
All right. Yeah. So who are some of the artists you've worked with in Boston?
You also said who inspired me.
Oh yeah. Please
answer
that.
So I mean, my pops was number one. Of course, Big Pun. My favorite rapper of all
Big
time is Nas and Biggie. But like, I like to also give props to people in my city. So Latrell James is one of my big artists that I work with, and he inspires me all the time. My good friend YN Prop also, and Danny Paul, who's on that record Rocket Ship. So like, there's a whole bunch of people that I can name, and like even artwork, I get inspired for a song, you know.
Right.
So. Yeah, and you said who I worked with?
Yeah, or is there anyone that you would like to work with in Boston that you haven't worked with yet?
Not at this moment. I feel like I worked with a lot of people, whether it was music or not music, is a good experience. You get what I'm saying? And like, yeah, I feel like, I mean, later on down the road there might be someone, but like right now I'm just like focused on the Joseph James brand, you know, really trying to push myself. And like, you know, really work. So that's why you see me like everywhere pretty much.
Nice. Well, let's go ahead and get into some more of the music, man. We did a lot of talking, and
man,
I like to let the music speak for itself.
Oh yeah.
You feel me? So next is, man, go ahead and put us on to some music. We'll be back with more Joseph James. We also got some tickets that we're giving away too.
Yes, sir.
To the show on Friday. So make sure you guys call in 857-366-5444. Call in. My man Joseph James is giving away them tickets. Next is put us on to some of this Yesoi music, man.
We will.
Joey's home.
But we gotta get back to the gala first. Hold on.